A top story at 10. A senior ANC KwaZulu-Natal leader has been taken in by police in connection with the murder of Sindiso Magaqa. The former ANC Youth League Secretary General died in hospital in September 2017, around 2 months after he was shot in Mzimkhulu, south of Durban. Now, the first suspect was arrested almost a year after Magaqa's death. Now, let's get more on the story. Let me bring in Ayanda Mhlongo in KZN, who's been keeping an eye on the story. Ayanda, thank you very much indeed for your time. So let's get the facts straight first of all. Is the suspect appearing in court this morning?
A very good morning to you, Blaine. We're coming to you live from the Mzimkhulu Magistrate Court, where it was expected that the senior ANC member, who's also a mayor of the Harry Gwala District Municipality, whom the ANC has named in a statement which they issued yesterday, has named as Mr. Mluleki, is not going to be appearing today, as we have been informed by our sources. He, of course, was arrested with 5 or 4 other suspects, which include 2 police officers, we understand, as well as 2 senior officials of this local municipality here in Mzimkhulu. This morning, of course, following the news yesterday that went around, shock across KwaZulu-Natal, within the ANC and, of course, the public in general, but particularly here in the area, Blaine, of Mzimkhulu, and the people that we were speaking to from yesterday expressing their shock that a senior member of the party had been arrested, as you said, in connection with the death of the late ANC Youth League Secretary General Sindiso Magaqa. This morning here, Blaine, of course, as was expected, that the 5 suspects would appear. There is quite a large number of members of the community that had turned up, and I'm just going to ask my colleague Tulani just to move a little bit. As you can see, they, Blaine, a huge crowd of people that had come out here today. Some of them wearing T-shirts with Sindiso Magaqa's face on them, saying to us that they were friends and comrades of Magaqa, and it was important that for them today they came here to court. But of course, they have now been informed that he will be appearing, or the suspects rather, will be appearing tomorrow. But aside from that, Blaine, I must tell you that there is a heavy police presence here at this court. From the outside, the entire precinct of the court building, there's a heavy police guard. Also, what we can tell you is that there was going to be the appearance of 8 suspects who were arrested a week or 2 weeks ago in relation with public violence, and we understand that they included taxi operators. You remember, Blaine, that there were protests, service delivery protests that took place here, which we covered quite extensively as the SABC on service delivery here in Mzimkhulu. And it led to the a shootout where 2 members of the public were injured in that shootout, believed to have been allegedly by a taxi operator. There was later an incident that happened the night after those protests where a young man is said to have been killed at home. 8 suspects were then subsequently arrested. Today is their bail hearing, so there was going to be that court case has also generated a lot of public interest here. Thus, the people are here for that case, but some were mainly here expecting that the 5 suspects in Magaqa's case would be appearing.
Ayanda, were there any reasons given why the suspects are appearing tomorrow instead of today?
As you know, Blaine, since you've been reporting on these politically motivated cases, the police have been tight-lipped around the investigations, only giving us very little. I mean, even in fact, relating to this latest arrest, they were only told us that they could confirm a senior official had been arrested, but what would not divulge any names or anything pertaining to the case, what the case could be linked to. And so again, very little that we've heard from the police. We've been picking up from our sources here around to our here at court, and also speaking to some of the court officials, that the matter is not on the roll today. One could assume, Blaine, that of course there is this appearance of the 8 suspects, which again was going to be quite a busy court matter, because the public had said that they were going to come out in their numbers today and protest here at the court. So it could be the fact that maybe the authorities, including the police, from the information that they'd gathered, they decided that two very high-profile cases were not going to be able. It is a very, very small court as well, Blaine. It's one main courtroom that the matters will be heard in. So it could just be a possibility that the police wanted just to move it forth. And the suspects were arrested yesterday, so it is still within the 48-hour window before they are able to appear.
I remember covering Magaqa's death when it happened back in 2017, and I know he died, about 2 months after that. Just remind us, Ayanda, about the circumstances surrounding the death of Magaqa.
Yes, Blaine, you're absolutely correct. Magaqa was assassinated or ambushed. An assassination, in fact, it was just in the area of Ibisi, which is roughly about 20 minutes from where we are, very close to at home. He had just come from a party meeting. And what the news immediately after Magaqa's arrest was that the community and people who were close to him said that it was related to the fact that Magaqa had been quite vocal in the municipality, speaking about the rampant corruption in the municipality. In particularly, they made mention of a community hall where millions and millions of public monies had gone to this hall, but the hall had not yet been finished. And apparently then at the time, his members of the ANC and close friends of Magaqa said that this was a fight that Magaqa had said he was going to take on because he did not want to see the public's funds being misused by some senior officials in the municipality. That information, Blaine, you'd even know, came out in the Moirane Commission, where Magaqa's close friends, Les Stuta, Thabiso Zulu, went through voluntarily and testified before the Moirane Commission, which was set out to investigate the motive behind political killings. And they too also spoke about this hall being at the center of what could have led to Magaqa being murdered. But of course, Blaine, now as we see that the case is moving, you know, of course, that since the new task team was set up by the police minister and the ministerial committee that was put forth by the president, we've seen a lot of work that has been done by that committee. And I suppose now that there's more arrests in this matter, we are going to eventually, or the public will eventually be able to find out, was it indeed relating to that hall and the rampant corruption in the Mzimkhulu municipality. Blaine.
So the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal has named the suspect. We as media normally wait till the suspect has appeared in court. But just tell us about some of the reaction you're getting from the ANC. How much of a setback is this for them?
Well, setback, Blaine, is the word that certainly was used by the ANC Secretary Mdumiseni Ntuli in a very short statement which they issued yesterday, saying that they were quite shocked at the news of the arrest. And then, of course, deciding to name the suspect. And you correctly said most of us, especially us as the SABC, had chosen not to name him. Really, there's not much, Blaine. They've said that they now will have to wait for the court processes to unfold. They're really, really disappointed by the arrest, but of course they would want to respect the rule of law and not interfere and allow the court process to take its course. Of course, having named him, Blaine, he is quite a senior member of the ANC as well. He's the former deputy secretary of the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal, and he was listed as third on the ANC's list for the provincial deployment to the provincial legislature after the election. So while a very known, recognized leader here in the area of Mzimkhulu, but across KwaZulu-Natal, we also know, Blaine, that he's also the provincial chairperson of SALGA here in the province. In fact, today he was supposed to have been addressing a quite important SALGA meeting which was being held in Durban. But of course, following these developments now, that is not going to happen. But certainly the ANC, the members of the community mostly here, Blaine, that you're speaking to, are really, really shocked shocked. They said that they'd expected that indeed there could have been some senior members of the ANC who were or may have been responsible or behind, rather, these political killings. But from them, a shock, and they just now want to see what will happen in court and want to see in terms of the court processes and the information that will come out from this. And whether or not, Blaine, this is the end of these arrests. There, you would know, in this area, 6 people were killed. Sindiso Magaqa is just one of the 6 who are also senior members or senior officials in the municipality, but also quite senior members of the ANC. Blaine.
SABC reporter Ayanda Mhlongo in KZN. Thank you.